being away so much, kind of all fell onto my wife's shoulders. Being able to just rely on the people here to take care of her, take care of her vehicle. Phil Long has always gone above and beyond. They just made the process 10 times easier. Phil Long didn't just take care of my vehicles, they took care of my family when it mattered the most.
Another attorney commercial with big promises, millions of dollars, practicing law 24 hours a day, blah, blah, blah. Let's get rid of the smoke and mirrors. None of that really matters. What does matter? Having a medical doctor as your attorney. That matters.
Hey there, crew. Good morning. It is Tuesday. It is March 10th. Third of the way through the month already. I just don't know where time is going. I don't know if you feel that way, but man, this is sort of day 3 here of the time change. I drag in the middle part of the week. I'm feeling it this morning. Maybe you are too. I've got my American Classic Coffee Sequoia in here. I describe it as bright, and the taste notes say it's a little spicy. If you haven't checked that out, go to AmericanClassicCoffee.com. Spence roasts that all locally. You can get 10% off if you put Peaks into checkout. If you want to try out a bag, he'll probably deliver it to your place. And if you sign up for a subscription, so, every couple weeks you're getting a new bag because you're drinking coffee, you actually get 15% off. So he is great. He's my official coffee provider. And man, I love him. He's such a good dude. And the coffee is so smooth. That's what everybody that has it says. Okay, let's get outside early this morning and talk about a couple of things here. Yesterday was a stunning day across the area, wasn't it? We had 70 in the Springs, 77 in Pueblo, and Lamar hit 83 yesterday, 60s for the Mountain Valleys. It really was a good one. Early this morning, like yesterday, there's a lot of temperature variability out there. We've got 48 in Walsenburg, 48 for Canyon City as well. And out across the Eastern Plains, it is quite a bit chillier. It's 22 in Eads this morning, and that's actually running a little bit colder than the Mountain Valleys. Numbers compared to this time yesterday, kind of all over the board a little bit, which really doesn't tell us anything in terms of, sort of large-scale weather things happening. And there are a few breezes this morning. It's really not bad. I am going to watch Fremont County, though. Here's the wind forecast for Florence. Kind of out of the west between about 15 and 20 or so today. I think there will be some spots. You get a little bit closer to the hills, a little bit closer to Canyon, and we may have a couple gusts to deal with. In fact, there is a red flag warning that my friends at the Weather Service have issued as we head into the afternoon and early part of the evening. Humidity will be low enough. Breezes will be enough. I'd put Walsenburg into this as well if it was me. Just something to be aware of, so sort of some low-end fire danger type stuff to deal with today. I want to let you know about a couple of things that I put on Peaks2Plains in the last few days, if you haven't had a chance to check it out. So I want to pull up the website here, and down at the bottom where the blog lives, you can also get to that up at the top. There are a couple things I want to point out. Today's a gap flow wind day. That is the middle part of the blog there. We get gap flow wind in Canyon City, Walsenburg. We're low spots in the mountains. And so I did a little bit of a write-up about that. It usually keeps these areas a little bit sort of windier on a daily basis than some other spots. That's something you should check out. And then yesterday I put on here the snowpack numbers. And I started to look at some historical context in terms of the next couple of weeks, because I think we are going to get into the start of the snow melt here in the back part of March. So you see that yellow line that I have there that says snowpack peak. Our current year is in black and is at the sort of low end. In fact, it is the low end of the SNOTEL data set. When you have years with lower snowpack, you start to melt the snow off quicker than years when you have good snowpack. And given what I think is coming here over the next couple of months, I think that we are going to get to the start of that snowpack. Here's why. I'm going to show you the outlook for March, April, May from the Climate Prediction Center. Now, for me, this starts getting out of my area of expertise, admittedly. The seasonal forecasting, I've been learning more about it, but not my bread and butter, so to say. But you can see the folks at the Climate Prediction Center for the March meteorological spring months think that the western U.S., including Colorado, are more likely than not to be above average on the temps and below average on precipitation. And so that combo, if you have low snowpack, and what we've seen in the past, have observed in the low snowpack years, makes me think we're going to start melting off some snow. So that's not necessarily good news. All right, let's say hello to a few folks this morning. Kathleen says, I missed the last couple shows, probably due to the time change. I get it. Hope you enjoyed the visit with my son. I actually didn't go visit my son late last week. He is in Indiana, and we went to Savannah, Georgia. My wife and I have our 25th wedding anniversary this year, and we're not going to be able to get away in the summer just due to a couple things that are on the schedule already. So we kind of snuck out of here for a few days. Savannah is really, really nice. Teresa says good morning as well, and so does Ann. Good morning to all of you. It's good to have you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the forecast today. Again, we're going to keep our eye on Canyon City here through the day today, where it's 48 this morning and already a breeze out of the west at 14 miles per hour. I think we'll be one of the breezier spots today, and I also think we'll have a couple gusts later on today. Oh, someone was just talking about Nate Dogg, and here he is. Let's bring him in, crew. Nate Dogg. What's up, buddy?
Oh, we're just at the coffee shop right now in the stew.
Yeah, coffee shop. What are you actually getting some coffee?
No, I'm getting hot chocolate.
Oh, okay. Well, how are you?
After we had we had our morning threshold. And here's the
Oh, it's Mooma! One of the Moomas is in the house. Oh my goodness, crew, this is Nate Dogmeister. He's at Taylor University. Nathan in spring track right now. You said you had a couple good days last week. What's the weather like today?
I don't think it could be better. It was like 60 and no wind.
Yeah.
And it was pristine.
Nice. Well, Nathan, I love you, buddy. I hope you have a good day. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks. I hope you have a good day too.
Okay. Thanks, buddy. Love you.
Bye.
All right, crew. You know what's cool about Nate Dogg checking in there? you can do that as well. So he just used the vmix.at/1rjsl1 is how he got on the show. You can do that too. And you can also use the one at the top, zmSjK. Those are the same every day. You just check in like that. We pop in the show. Peaks2Plains Weather is our weather together. I always put those into the posts that I do for the lives, and it's good to have him on here. I invite you to come on as well. This is sort of crowdsourcing the weather here. He's getting a nice day. There's actually some severe weather potential in the middle part of the U.S. today. We can look at that a little bit later on if you want. Walsenburg, like I said, I am going to keep that as one of the kind of windier areas today. Good morning. In Pueblo West, 52. Really, really nice to start the day. Lost the camera in Falcon, but it's 46. Off to the northeast of the Springs, Woodland Park, getting a good morning as well. Okay, let's talk about the next few days. And I'm going to head over to the weather wall to do this part. Then if you have any specific questions to ask, go ahead and do so. And I'll take those after we do this here. So let's talk about our weather for the next couple of afternoons. Because here's what we've got on the way. You see this area of low pressure off to the south, had some showers in Phoenix yesterday, Albuquerque getting some. We have a couple clouds that are overhead early this morning. This thing's going to be far enough away, though, that I don't think we're really going to get too much from that. What it is going to do, though, is open the door for this cold front that's associated with this wave across the northern plains to come south overnight tonight. And you'll know when the front gets to your house overnight. So my concern today is that you can see here with these gap flow wind areas. Pueblo might pick up a little bit of that, but these are the low spots in the mountains, so the wind kind of shoots through there. That's what I wrote about on Peaks2PlainsWeather.com. We'll have a couple gusts here up over the mountains as well. A lot of us, though, maybe a little bit breezier than yesterday, but still really, really nice. Humidity low. That's why we have those fire weather concerns. We're ahead of the cold front. Another really, really warm day. Back into the 60s for the mountain valleys. Tons of 70s over the plains. And right around 70 up across the Palmer Divide. So Banjo, look at, he's like, yeah! He knows he's getting a long walk today. The Banjo's barometer up to a 9. And did you just hear that? Banjo hangs out with me in the studio, and I just stepped on his toy and made a little squeak. So, hey, appropriate for Banjo's barometer. Okay, let me take you into tonight. The west breeze continues over the mountains, but here's what happens over the plains. The cold front comes in from the north. We get it in northeastern Colorado. After the sun goes down, we start to get it in southern Colorado, probably prior to midnight in a lot of cases. And we are going to get about a 4-hour, maybe 5-hour window of some gusty wind because we're swapping out air masses here. Some much cooler air coming in. Then I think the gusts will pull back a little bit as we head into tomorrow morning. Now, here's what I want to point out. Talked about this yesterday with the chance of some snow showers up across the I-70 resorts. There's an outside chance that wave's coming a little bit farther south. There's a chance here as we head into tonight and this energy gets out onto the plains behind the front and interacts with the Palmer Divide. Somebody could see a snow shower. I'm not overly excited about it. I'm kind of covering my rear end here. I don't think they'll be heavy if they're out there, but there could be a snowflake in Colorado Springs tomorrow morning as well. Just saying. Outside chance. I'd rather commit a sin of commission than omission. Does that make sense? Right? Like tell you something's going to happen and have it not happen versus not tell you it's going to happen and then it happens. Okay? So, we'll keep our eye out for that. Outside possibility of that through the morning, and then the clouds that we have in the morning will give way to sunshine. Tomorrow morning will be cooler than today. We won't have any 40s out there. The atmosphere's mixing up out over the far eastern plains where we're in the 20s this morning. In Eads, you'll be warmer. Lyman probably cools back because we'll see the breezes start to pull back some. But look at that temperature difference for tomorrow. We get a solid 20 to 25 degree drop over the plains. We'll drop a little bit over the mountains, not as much, kind of a uniform type day out there. We'll have some wind over the eastern plains east of Highway 71 in the morning out of the north, up around maybe 15 to 25. Then those will pull back in the afternoon. But we stay a little bit gusty over some of the mountain areas in the eastern slopes. That's the warmer air mass that moves right back in for Thursday into Friday. And that's going to be gusty enough that I think we get a couple of fire weather days out there to wrap up the work week. So something to be aware of there as we move through the back part of the week. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back.
Oh, beautiful for space skies, for rainbow waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee.
Here's to 150 years of the state we call home.
At Phil Long Ford Motor City, we've been around for 80 years. That's like 560 in dog years. Basically, we're the top dogs of Colorado. And thanks to our deals, selection, and service, we've earned some pretty loyal customers. And our GM Mark, he's the most loyal guy I know. Even after I chewed up his shoe, it was delicious.
Great trucks, amazing deals, and belly rubs for dogs. Come see why Colorado drives Phil Long Ford Motor City. Hey guys, where's my shoe?
Emergencies are unpredictable, but you don't have to be unprepared. Peak Alerts sends you targeted emergency alerts in real time for the places that matter to you most, so you know what's happening and what to do next. Know first, act fast. That's the power of Peak Alerts.
Alrighty. Welcome back here. It is time to say hello to some of you. And Lisa says, good morning. Nice to see you. Lisa, good morning. It's nice to see you. Jennifer, I think saying that's awesome about Nathan joining the show. It was good to have him. And Cheryl says good morning as well. Mike is excited about the 9 from Banjo. Mike, me too. I'm excited about that. I know Banjo's excited about that. Dr. Tanya here says, I have a half marathon in D.C. this coming weekend. Any exciting weather there? Well, let's talk about that because there is some exciting weather there today. I can tell you that, though this is for Dr. Tanya here. We'll break this down. You can see today, I'm going to start with that and then we'll get you to the weekend. The area of low pressure here that's off to our south is starting to draw a lot of moisture northward from the Gulf. And as it kicks off to the east later on today, you see this jet streak with it here. That's the sort of orange that you see coming out of old Mexico into Texas and spreading into Oklahoma and Arkansas early this morning. That's kind of a classic pattern for some severe weather. So we'll watch for that later on today. In fact, we'll just do this here in real time. That's kind of the part of this that I think is cool, that you get to be part of this with me, and it doesn't have to be as produced as when you're trying to do things tight on the TV station. So I'm going to run from today into tomorrow morning here on the precipitation accumulation, and I'm going to shift our camera off to the east just a little bit because what I want to show you here is the severe weather happening. And you can see, so the dark green that you see there, those are thunderstorms firing up over eastern Texas into Arkansas. And there might be some large hail and some tornadic activity later on this afternoon into this evening. So that's something that we'll watch for. Now, Dr. Tanya, for your question, let me change the time here on the computer model. And let's go from Friday through Sunday. And let's zoom in here on DC. Let me adjust the camera a little bit and we'll pull in. Okay, so here we're Friday through Sunday looking at precipitation accumulation. I think you're good. I think you're good. Good luck in your race. I hope you have fun. I hope you have a good trip. Okay? All right. Want to talk about the extended forecast now, because I made a little bit of a change this morning for what is coming over the weekend. And here's the change. You can see as we head into Friday that we're going to be warm. I was talking fire danger a little bit ago, right? Something to be aware of. Well, as we run this into the future over the weekend, you start to see some really cold air get organized over the northern Rockies as we head into Saturday. Now, this is Saturday evening. And I'm kind of looking at the mid-levels here. This is a tool I use to analyze air masses and where they are. Well, I've had the temperature drop for the back part of the weekend in my forecast for the last few days. And you can see that, yeah, we're going to be dealing with that new air mass for sure. And then we'll have to see how quick it gets east of here on Monday. But I've got a significant temperature drop of about 30 degrees or so between Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's probably a high fire weather day too. But here's the change that I made. Watch what happens with the upper level wave that's driving that cold front over the weekend. And watch the oranges and then the reds in particular. That thing is a lot closer to home than it looked like yesterday for sure, and the last couple of days as well. That's close enough that made me say, I better look at precipitation chances with that. And so the same computer model that's bringing that wave closer to home as we head into Sunday morning is firing up some snow as the front comes in, interacting with the Palmer Divide in northeastern Colorado and our ski resorts. So that's something to watch there. So I put some snow chances into the forecast for Teller County, for northern El Paso County, for the Palmer Divide here as we head into the weekend, and something that I'll keep watching really, really close. So for Kiowa in Elbert County, about 25 miles east of Castle Rock, windy Saturday ahead of the front. That's why I think we'll have high fire danger day. Then a solid 25 degree temperature drop. No, that'd be 35 degrees if I could do the math right. And a chance of some snow showers as we head from late Saturday night into Sunday. Pueblo, I've got the 30 degree temperature drop, and I don't have any showers in the forecast for us right now, but I'll keep an eye on that. If that thing keeps inching kind of south, maybe that changes, crew. Maybe that's something that we need to watch for. So that's kind of where things are right now. Okay. So good day on the way today. Windy tonight with a cold front coming in, and then a much cooler day tomorrow. Couple spots could see some snow showers. Something we will keep an eye on. My friends, that's it for Mornings with Meister this morning. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Download the Peaks2Plains Weather app. If you haven't done so yet, do so. Share it with your friends. You can go to peaks2plainsweather.com at the top of the page there and download it. You can send folks there as well. And Peaks2Plains Weather is where I have all kinds of good stuff. And, keep your location on, because that's how I can give you a digital door knock here. So if you go to the homepage of Peaks2Plains Weather and then you download the weather app there, you can get to Apple or Google. I do want to point you out as well to my partners here that make Peaks2Plains Weather possible, small businesses, large businesses in Southern Colorado and beyond. You can learn more about them there. You can click on them, go right to their websites. I am so grateful to them for making Peaks2Plains Weather possible. And I'm going to see if we can talk to one or two of them tomorrow morning. By the way, tomorrow I am going to be heading to Pueblo for an interactive warning team with the National Weather Service, with emergency managers. There are sometimes folks from sheriff offices that are there. I know that emergency managers from across the area will be there. We're going to do an exercise on, I believe, wildfires and how those of us that have ties to weather, I mean, somebody like me that does weather forecast and serves the community with weather information, the weather service, TV stations, and then emergency managers that need that information to coordinate things with fire departments and, perhaps evacuations. If we get wildfires, we all will work through a scenario together and say, hey, what do you need as this happens? What do you need? Oh, the fire starts spreading this way. What do you need? So it's a way to prepare ahead of time for things that might happen due to the weather. And so I'll be there tomorrow. I'll still have a live show in the morning, and then I'll head down there. You guys remember Grandma June when I was on Fox? I'm going to meet her for coffee tomorrow morning, and I am really, really excited about that too. She's a really, really great lady. So that's it for me this morning. Have a great day, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow on Peaks2Plains Weather, or in the meantime, if something weird happens.